Hello and welcome back. We've got our image planes positioned in our scene and we're just about ready to start modeling our self-portrait. I just wanted to quickly mention about the creation of these image planes as I use JPEGs in this instances, and other instances you could use PNGs. But the photographs of myself were taken not from a tripod but just from somebody standing with a camera holding it. And of course your subject matter here is going to be also not in the same position, maybe moved back slightly. So matching up exactly where the chin will meet the chin in our front view and side view, nose, eyebrows, top of the heads, something that is better manipulated in a program like Photoshop. So what I did, and if you go back to the chapters in my book that I've posted, you'll see that there's a section on how I did this using Photoshop. And it's quite simple. I just brought in my side view and then cropped it to be squared. Then I overlaid my front view, positioned it, maybe even scaled it down a bit. Make sure you do uniform scale or else you're going to kind of deform the actual shape of your head. And just moved it around so that the chin matched the chin in both views, top of the heads, eyes, so facial features match up. And you can use guides as well. It's better to use guides to really be precise. I then saved the views out separately as JPEGs. You can use PNGs or any other format, image format that Maya accepts. And this creates my nice kind of uniform side to front view image planes that should work quite nicely. A second thing is, when we're modeling, we're always going to model, it's always best practice to model in the positive Z direction, which we are here. I can see that my Z view, when I select this, is in the positive Z direction. It should be -12. And what's since happened is, unknowingly, and you probably saw it in the tutorial, is that I went around and I'm in the wrong direction. So you always want to make sure, and this is a good point here, to make sure we're always in the right direction. And this isn't some kind of coincidence. I didn't do this to make a point. I actually did accidentally move my axis around. So it's a good thing to always check. So now I'm going to be in my positive Z direction. I can tell by looking down here in the lower left, positive Z in blue is pointing towards us, and my axis here is in Z. My Z axis, sorry, is in the negative value. My X value here is at 0, and that's kind of what you want to do. But I maybe did not line up my facial head in the kind of center of my nose, and we'll need to fix that. And before I do that, let's turn my head back around here to 90. So now we're okay. I'm just going to go into my front view, and I can see that if I look kind of down the center of my face in Z, that this is not actually on the center of my image. So I'm going to need to adjust it, just so I'm moving it just slightly to come down the center of my nose. And you'll have to adjust it accordingly to yourself. I'm not adjusting Y or Z, just in my X direction in my orthographic front view. And that looks pretty close to me. You can see it's not exactly at an X value of 0, it's a little off. So now that I've got my image plane kind of correctly positioned, back to my perspective view, and now I can start to model.